Hello, this is Christmas 25 of 2007. We're still alive. I didn't think so.
Woohoo! Party!
We're kicking. Merry Christmas, Betty.
Merry Christmas to you, Sarah Jane. Who on you?
Or Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, it sounds better. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This is me. You need gloves. Then you don't have that grease on your hand.
Well, we went out to Slumberland and she brought that big chair. We went to go outside and this young salesman helped us because I get her down the way and she moved the porch. She went to stand up to kind of get herself in there and her pants and this poor kid standing.
What did he do?
Well, oh, it's terrible. Sarah Jane, you shouldn't be teeping. We'll never show this to him.
No.
Butterfly spirit. The soul is of eternity. It dwells in human form, then moves beyond, but never ever ceases. And like the butterfly emerging from dark chrysalis, each soul attains its wings as it releases. Hold a hand, say a prayer, close your eyes and see me there. Although you may feel a bit torn apart, please know that I'll forever be in your heart. Now fly away, butterflies, as high as you can go. I'm right there with you, more than you know.
Come on, guys.
Ready without your go.
Oh, maybe she's sticking around.
Yeah! All together.
all know that Betty marched to the beat of her own drum.
Amen. Made a lot of noise.
She lived in this world, but the extent to which she was of it is a matter of debate. The rationale that most of us adhere to simply did not apply to her, and I believe she and all of us are all the better for it. We still have no idea what, if anything, she said was actually true. But tell me, what is truth? Does it require scientific proof? Then what of a gut feeling? What of the strange powers of love? Not all knowing is rational. In fact, it may be argued that knowing is actually believing. And so, for all we know, heaven might truly be 6 feet above us. All of us. Even Kirk.
So you gotta reach a little more.
In which case, Betty set us up to know something we may not have otherwise. Whether we believe it or not, she stretched us to consider realms and possibilities beyond logic, charting into the territory of imagination. There's a saying, if you can imagine it, it exists. This is the stuff of dreams, but it's also discussed in such fields as quantum. Truly, what we perceive of the world we experience may equate to about 1% of that which exists. Whatever the percentage, it is certainly less than the full scope. There are sounds we can't hear, light waves we can't see, micro and macro activities we may never understand. So who's to say what takes place beyond our awareness? What I do know is the longer you dwell in something, the more real and more powerful it becomes. Take a headache, for example, or anxiety around the fear of something you can't control. Just thinking about the pain and discomfort makes it worse. But let's say you believe something more exists. Let's say you imagine waterfalls cooling your head and your feet bringing the heat down to the ground. Or you learn to convince yourself that the thing you fear is a teacher sent to test your strength or your willingness to live with room for surprises. In my experience, what happens next is nothing short of a miracle. At the very least, is unexpected. When we acknowledge that what is, as we understand it, is a loose translation and only part of the story, we make room for more to arise to the surface of our awareness. So many things happen because we believe in them. We give them power to exist. And so much more happens than we will ever consciously know. The role of perception in a world of possibilities is paramount, and our expansion thereof is our ticket to experiencing more. Betty didn't want a typical funeral with everyone stalling and staring and wallowing in sadness. Mourning is important. There is grief, absolutely, in letting go. For our sake, we must do this and be real with that emotion. This is necessary so that it doesn't get stuck, stay dormant, to wreak havoc. We must feel it. And yet, the way we honor Betty gives strength to her spirit, which is the gift she has given us. We can laugh and even rejoice in her ability to create her own reality. That reality existed, and it still exists in us. Betty lives in us because we hold her stories, our memories of her close in our hearts. And I believe her legacy is a lesson for us all to let go, even just a little, of what we believe we know, and make room for the irrational, for surprises, for miracles. In a world of possibilities, I'm opening up to the idea that heaven is 6 feet above us, or Betty is giving us a wink and giggling at all the mischief that she can get into now.
Beautiful.
Perfect.